Now that President Trump's locked up several massive trade agreements, the administration says the rest of America's key trading partners want to get on that action, hoping to sign deals ahead of Friday's tariff deadline.
Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick telling Bret Baier it's up to President Trump to take the next step.
The president's going to decide, look, this is how I want to play it. He may entertain a few more deals, or he may decide, you know what, I'm just going to set the policy going forward. But by the end of this week, they will all be set.
Okay, Edward Lawrence had a flow chart on this thing about a year ago, live in the White House now. Give us the news. What's up, Edward? Good morning.
Yeah, it seems the United States on a hot streak, like the weather here, Bill, and countries are using the fact that the president is out of the country here to finalize some of those trade agreements. We saw the European Commission president fly over to Scotland and finish their framework deal. And now we hear that the South Korean delegation has now come, or was in Scotland, flew to Scotland to try and be next in the deals. Listen to this.
Think of how much they really want to get a deal done. But the president is in the driver's seat now, right? He's done these big deals. He's got really all the cards in front of him. And as he said, he's going to decide what the tariff rate is, how much these countries are going to open their markets and what the tariff rate is. And that's what we're going to do this week.
Now, the U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer working on sending up to 200 letters by Friday to countries that do not have a trade agreement with the U.S., telling them what additional tariff between 15 and 50% they will pay to import goods. I'm told that as of today, no additional letters have yet been sent. The Federal Reserve Chairman arguing to pause rates, and it stems from the fact that he does not know, he says, the level of tariffs going forward. Well, now we have significant deals with set rates. The European Union, United Kingdom, Japan, Philippines, Indonesia, and Vietnam. So market experts say that some of that uncertainty is now gone.
I think the market, the first reaction to the tariffs was like dropping a ping pong ball on the table, where you get the sharpest reaction, then subsequent ones are more muted. Now, I think investors are expecting deals and are humming the Queen song, "Another One Bites the Dust."
So the administration now close again with South Korea, also India. Now on the Chinese talks that are going on in Sweden, I'm told that there's a little bit of progress, but it's very slow going as the Chinese staff is slow to put some of the changes on paper. Back to you.
Okay, watching that. Edward, thanks. Nice to see you, North Lawn. Thank you. Dana?
For more on this, Kevin O'Leary, chairman of O'Leary Ventures. Great to have you. Just want to read to you this Wall Street Journal column headline by Gerard Baker. If Trump's tariffs are so bad, where's the recession? In their rush to emphasize the negatives, economists might have overlooked countervailing forces. Your take on the highs and lows of all this?
Still being negotiated. I think the headline for investors like me that have to do business within this policy is we're trying to avoid the noise in terms of all of the back and forth rhetoric and trying to nail down what is the actual number that we're going to be dealing with, either inbound or outbound. Europe's a huge market. You know, this makes sense for this reason. Europe always had a value-added tax in almost every country against U.S. products going in there. Call it 13%. So you would think a reciprocal 13-ish% would be absorbed by both sides easily. That's not quite what happened here. We're more above 20. And the only reason Europe, and remember, they have to negotiate as a collective, 26 different entities, like one person or five-person team negotiating for them. Already the French and the German are whining this morning about this deal, or this potential deal. But the only reason they care is pharmaceuticals and automotive. We are so huge to them in those sectors, so huge, so massive, so important that they have to come to the table. And, you know, this is a big deal. And so that's why you're hearing, oh, yeah, we'll invest $500 billion here and all that. They're going to move these pharmaceutical manufacturing facilities to the U.S. because this is their market. And so Trump's getting that win. But I don't think we're done yet. I mean, the EU is it's the biggest deal there is.
You're making the case that the headwinds will come from the other EU partners against this deal?
I'm saying the headwinds are in the details. You know, already they want protections against things like automotive in their direction. Oh, we don't sell many cars. Nobody's buying a Ford 150 truck in Switzerland or, you know, in France. You can't fit them on the street, let alone your driveway. So,
but isn't this the problem with the EU fundamentally? Is that a handful of people make decisions in Brussels that affect all the countries.
And
that takes us back to Brexit 5 years ago.
Yeah, I know. Although the British wish they hadn't done that for a bunch of other reasons.
They wish they were part of the EU.
Yeah, they wish they were, because you have negotiating leverage. That's the upside. I think what people are liking about it from the investment community, at least I am, is we're getting some certainty that it's not going to be 50% or 35%, because we can't live with that. And clearly, no one's ever done this kind of thing in 6 months. So we know that the actual agreements will take another year or two to work out. And all of this is one big basket, all these countries. And then the other thing is China. China is a different deal, completely different deal.
Let's go to that now, Dan.
Well, yeah, President Trump just tweeted, put this on Truth Social. He said, "I am not seeking anything in regards to China talks. I may go to China, but it would only be at the invitation of President Xi, which has been extended, otherwise no interest." So back and forth as we go on China.
That's noise. This is a negotiation. This is what Trump does. It's back and forth. He puts it out during the weekend. He puts it out everybody understands what he's doing. The dance with China is a different dance completely, because it's not just tariffs. It's economic warfare. It's AI warfare. It's access to their markets. It's World Trade Organization disputes. It's what they're doing here. It's TikTok. It's so many different things that there's no way on earth this deal is going to get negotiated by, August 1st. Impossible. And so I think they're going to get treated differently with a different negotiating group. The whole world's watching this one because,
it's the big one.
Well, it is the big one, but also China has never played by the rules. And I'm an advocate for getting this worked out now. I mean, we have been doing this for 30 years. And they have constantly never abided by whatever covenants have been put in place. It looks like this deal will have consequences. There may be some good things, some bad things. I mean, TikTok is in chaos right now. It's a big asset here. And I would have said last week they'll provide another extension because it's now become a pawn in this negotiating deal with Xi. But now I understand, listening to some of the lawmakers, they're done with extensions. And I care because I'm trying to buy it. I'm one of the buying groups. I now think there's more than a 50-50 chance that it goes dark. Ooh. So, and that doesn't mean we can't negotiate a deal, but they're going to shut it off midnight, September 17th, like they've done once before.
You think?
Remember, India shut this thing down just a few years ago. The only problem for that is ByteDance right now can say it's only 8% of our market cap, which is true. But if the U.S. turns this off permanently, then Canada will turn it off. Then Europe will start turning it off, because what it really is spyware. So if you're a shareholder in ByteDance this morning, you're going, oh, wow. What can we do? And so they threw out this idea. We'll rewrite the code and deliver it on September 5th. But it's the same guys that wrote the first spyware, writing the second spyware. So we got a lot of stuff going on with China.
My guess is 90-day extension. We'll see what happens.
Not a chance.
Okay, all right. I'm going to say 90 days.
You heard it here first.
Right, just string it out.
I think this time, zero probability.
Okay, all right, dig it. Okay, cool. Thanks, Kevin. Nice to see you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.